I'm Lauren, and this is September in my Wonderland 222 journal. We'll begin with the traditional sticker check. Looking pretty good still. As I've said before on this page, I was tracking when various people in the family had doctor's appointments or procedures or whatever. Fortunately, that's calmed down a lot in the later half of the year, so there's way less to keep track of, which is nice. And now also I can go back and see, like, when did I take my cat to the vet and what did we do at that time and stuff. So I like this as a general overview. The quarterly pages. So starting in August, I started to track my manicures, and the way that I have been doing that to get these like swatches is that I've been putting after I paint my own nails, I then paint a little swatch on this like silicone thing, and this is like a thing you would use to like help you open a jar, but you're able to peel the nail polish right off of it. If you want to do this, my only recommendation is make sure that you do the nail polish thick enough, because if you don't, it will crack. You can see here, if it's too thin, it'll just break as you're peeling it off. All right, so let's see. A new thing that I added is this like washi tape rainbow, opposite of this, because I didn't know what else to put here and I wanted to put something. Let's look at September. Here's the tracking. You can see I completely fell off the wagon this month and also the next month, and that's because we were preparing to move in this month, and that screwed up basically all my plans. Here's one more new thing that I wanted to share, which is I have a bunch of Happy Planner stickers, and like some of them are very nice and some of them I just don't use and I don't have a use for. And so I decided that I wanted to make like kind of a crazy collage to just put down a bunch of the ones that I have no intention of using any other place. So that's what I did this morning, and unfortunately they're a little old, so you can see like the stickiness is going on, well, I say a few, but there's a lot on here, so I feel like I'm gonna have to come back in here with like packing tape or something and sort of like tape everything down for safety. Here is my local collage, no longer local at this time, but at the start of the year it was. And then I have some swatch pages and this for some reason. All right, let's look at the monthly. So on the overview page, again, I like to keep track of the media that I'm reading, watching, or playing, places that we went to eat, any knitting works in progress, and then any orders that I'm waiting on, and then kind of miscellany. On the monthly pages, I am keeping track of the daily Wordle, but you can see that basically starting this month, I kind of start to fall off the wagon, and that is because after we moved, the time difference made it a little more annoying to ensure that I was playing the same puzzle as the rest of my family. So that just made it a lot harder to keep up with, which is unfortunate. In the weeklies, there's not a lot going on, and a lot of this was actually decorated after the fact, like at the end of the month or in October. And so you'll see that when we moved, I had brought only a certain number of like markers and washi and stickers and stuff with me, to sort of tide me over until the rest of it came in the mail. And so you're gonna see like these guys a lot in September. So here, this was the third week before we moved. Like basically at the beginning of the month, it just felt like, oh God, everything is counting down. So yeah, here is the week that we moved. And again, these are some of the Happy Planner stickers that like, I don't use them. They are very cute and I feel weird throwing them away. So I'm kind of just sticking them in here. These were like sort of thematically appropriate, I guess, but sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I just put them in for vibes, I guess. Okay. And then here is the review page where I have any finished objects that I finished for knitting. Obviously nothing. Any books that I read, surprisingly there was one. A favorite moment, number of times I went to CrossFit, 0, very sad. A pick of the month, and some kind of ephemera to basically fill this space. And this is from the bag that I got at the Tomichi Kyoto store, which is the Hobonichi store. Okay, so let's go to the, here we go, the dailies. So this is pretty much the theme of this month. So you'll see a lot of stuff glued in because I just didn't have time to do much more than that. So this is our current apartment with hopefully all the identifying details blacked out. My friend very kindly threw us a going away party and brought a Polaroid, which I guess did not make like the best quality of pictures, but I am glad to get some of these like pictures with other folks there. And then this, we watched this movie and I had a lot of thoughts about like how good it was versus what I thought of the story, so I had to complain about that a little bit here. And I'm really happy with this drawing, which is done entirely in Posca pen, and I had like doodled it in with pencil first, and that obviously was covered up right away with the black ink because I had to make the background so I could then come back with like the white and the red. But I was obviously like looking at the picture of the cover like on my computer and trying to copy it, and it's not quite right and some of the proportions are off, but I'm glad that at least the wolf looks like kind of scary and not that silly. This turned out to be the first and the last PSL that I had the whole season. I had this one at work when they got the syrup in, and then I didn't have another one until I didn't have another one, period. And then we got to Japan and I thought, oh, I'll get one at Starbucks here. And it turns out that as far as PSL goes, they're done with it like by the end of September. So that was really sad for me. So as part of our move, I had to look up how to transport nail polish. In case you didn't know, it's extremely flammable. So there's a lot of restrictions on how you can put it in the mail. And basically the answer is you can't. You cannot ship it via airmail. So you typically are only able to buy from places that can send it to you by ground transportation. So because of that, the shipping company would have refused to take any of my collection. So the TLDR is if you want to take nail polish internationally with you, internet, whatever, then you should put it in your carry-on luggage or your checked luggage on a plane, because for whatever reason, TSA has like very little concerns about having flammable nail polish in your luggage compared to other shipping companies. So that's my recommendation for you if you ever need to take a bunch of bottles of nail polish on a plane somewhere. So this day we did the cider summit, which is really great because I don't really drink alcohol aside from cider. And there's a ton of beer fest, but obviously I don't benefit from them. So I got my friends to go with me, which was really nice, and I got a bunch of free stickers. Love that. And yeah, I'm really happy that we got to go to this event before we left. So here, moving was really hard, and I wanted to, I guess, kind of note down some thoughts about that, but also they were not like particularly positive thoughts. So I wrote them in yellow, which is hard to read, and then I went over it with like more writing on top, which then made what I had written kind of like more like a background to this. And so now I kind of got to get it out and I don't have to ever look at it again. Here, we had a moving company help us because we were moving for work. So they came through and they did, they like stickered all the stuff, like what was going into storage, what was going to go overseas to meet us in Japan. And when stuff arrived, I started to like pick off some of the stickers, obviously, because I needed to put them in my journal immediately. Here's my plane ticket, some thoughts on the moving day, and then just a lot of papers. We just started getting a lot of papers. So this was like our luggage shipping from the hotel and a note from the person who was helping us get all set up. And then we were going out to eat a lot because we had absolutely nothing in the kitchen. And delightfully on this day, we got to go to the Hobonichi store that's in Kyoto. It's called Tobichi. And I got my notebooks for 2026, and that was really nice. Yeah, it was really fun. I definitely will go back. More food pics, obviously, because we've been going to a lot of places with really great food. And then I'm also trying to get a lot of, I guess I'm not trying, it's just happening. There's a lot of food packaging that's really cute. And I'm trying to memorialize as much of it as I can in here because it's, I don't know, I just love it. Here's some other packaging that's really nice. We had gone to Osaka to look for a monitor for my husband. We also went into like some, you know, like fan, like model stores and stuff. And also while we were there, I went to a yarn shop, which was really great, and got some yarn because I foolishly didn't think to bring any with me aside from my current project. So as soon as I finished it, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to get yarn to cast on something else. So it was really nice that I was able to go and see also some stuff that's just not available in the US. And also the prices are very different. So yeah, that was fun. Really great. And that is it for September in my Wonderland 222 journal.